Hello, everyone. Welcome to Judiciary Gold. And you are here in the Judiciary Conclave, and we are here with in conversation with MPCJ topper, MPCJ merit list holder, Ayushi Upadhyay. We have with us Ayushi Upadhyay. Ayushi cleared her MP civil judge examination just last year recently, and she is now posted as civil judge class 2 in Sagar, Madhya Pradesh. So, welcome, Ayushi. Hello.
Thank you. Hello.
Okay, so Ayushi, before coming to your proper introduction, which will be given by you, I'd just like to tell all my viewers that MP civil judge vacancies are out, and that is the very big reason why we are having Ayushi here with us. And Ayushi will be in this entire session. Ayushi will be helping us and guiding all the judiciary aspirants as to how to prepare for MP civil judge examinations. एंड एमपीसीजे की जैसा आप लोग जानते हैं इस बार बम्पर वैकेंसीज आई हैं 252 वैकेंसीज आई हैं तो बहुत अच्छी एक अपॉर्चुनिटी है उन स्टूडेंट्स के पास who will be who want to rather become a civil judge in the state of Madhya Pradesh, and we have someone with us who is a civil judge in Madhya Pradesh judiciary. So who better can Ayushi can guide us on this. So Ayushi, I know this is a pretty basic question to ask, but tell me about yourself.
So yeah, I had cleared my 12th class in 2013. After that, I had appeared for CLAT. I got through HNLU Raipur. So I graduated from HNLU in 2018. Back then, I had few corporate job offers, but I have gone. I have been doing internships continuously. Like मैंने अपने हर मई, जून और दिसंबर internship किया ही था. Corporate नहीं किया because नेशनल लॉज में यूजुअली एक वैसा कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर ही होता है और मैं क्या अपने घर में फर्स्ट जनरेशन हूँ इस पूरे लॉ फील्ड में सो देयर वाज नोबडी टू गाइड आई ऑलवेज न्यू दैट आई वांट टू डू लॉ बट लॉ में क्या करने का है किसी को नहीं पता था सो व्हेन आई वेंट टू नेशनल लॉ कॉलेज एंड देन आई सॉ द culture there so they nourish lot of corporate culture वहाँ पे so when I did internship so there were few places where I realized, which side I want to be. Like, where am I putting my education to? Because, when you are educated and when you can, actually work on grass level, I felt that you should because you have a lot of money there, but job satisfaction नहीं था. So, but एक वही race थी. तो जब तक PPO नहीं मिला था तब तक था कि PPO मिल जाए. जिस दिन PPO मिल गया एक चैन था पर satisfaction या खुशी नहीं थी. So then I started thinking कि और क्या कर सकते हैं. So my friends used to tell me, one of my very good friends is also a civil judge now, but he's in senior batch. So he used to tell me judiciary dekh ke de. And I used to not believe like I would ever clear this exam because I used to tell that यार इतनी मेहनत से पढ़ते हैं लोग मैं नहीं कर सकती इतनी मेहनत. And so he said, give it a shot. I flipped a coin. The coin came heads. So we had a bet. So head was at least I'll try for this paper. So that's how after my graduation, I tried for this paper. So then after 2018, June, I started preparing. One vacancy came in probably August. So August, I wasn't prepared because, July I had started and in only 1 month, I did not give that paper. And then, yeah, I did not even appear. Diya hi nahi. Bhara hi nahi. And I didn't tell anybody. So, when people got to know my teachers and everybody, they were so angry. Ki dekh ke to dekhti. So I was mentally preparing myself कि नहीं देंगे. By then December में ही आ गई notification फिर से उस साल. So then I had no choice. I filled it, and then there was no going back from there.
Obviously, you decided your career on the basis of flipping a coin. So
Yeah.
must have been very, very happening for you, Ayushi, because यार ये तो शायद मैंने अपने इतने करियर में इतने एक्सपीरियंस में मैंने आज तक कभी किसी को ये बताते हुए नहीं सुना है कि they decided that they want to go for judiciary by flipping a coin, and
Yeah.
it eventually came heads and you decided that you are going for judiciary. But
Yeah.
हाँ यार, this is really good, Ayushi, that you actually did what you wanted to do. Because many people, I have seen many people that they mostly get a job in a good corporate firm, but वही है, job satisfaction नहीं है, उसके बाद भी वही काम किए जा रहे हैं, वही काम किए जा रहे हैं, भले से मजा नहीं आ रहा, but उसे ही कंटिन्यू करते हैं.
May I just add one thing here?
Yes.
So what happened was, uh, I was actually, having this thought introspection what I want to do once I was offered PPO. So I was thinking about, maybe I'll go for it, then I'll leave corporate like most of my seniors were doing. But I had this thing also in my mind. So one of the most driving factor was we are two sisters only. So my elder sister is married and she's settled in Bangalore. And one thing was like my parents are not getting younger with any day. So I thought if I would also stay in Bombay, then who is going to take care of them? At least I'm not living in Bhopal. I was like, I would be at such a distance कि कम से कम एक रात में तो पहुंच सकते हैं वहां पे, or maybe lesser time also. So this was the reason why I was torn, because I had to look there also, this also. So then a lot of confusion came. So then वही होता है ना, किस्मत में क्या होगा देखा जाएगा. So I flipped up a coin. But I think I was just looking for a sign of confirmation for what I already had decided in my mind. So that's how it worked.
Okay. So, Ayushi, I mean, obviously, this is a difficult choice to make because corporate firms जो होती हैं, उनका
Yeah.
charm, वो salary, वो package, वो अलग ही होता है. So, apart from whatever you have said, what was that deciding factor which made you go towards या get inclined towards judiciary? क्योंकि corporate firms का जो ये package वाला attraction होता है ना, generally people tilt towards that. But
Yeah.
given an opportunity, अगर आप ऐसी opportunity को छोड़ करके judiciary की तरफ जा रहे हैं, तो that calls for a very strong will and determination. So any other factor as well, मतलब which worked for you to go towards judiciary, because it's difficult. It's really difficult.
So, there were 5 instances that I can tell you, which actually led me to believe this. So, it was a well thought action, That's what I was telling कि जो दिमाग में already आ गई थी, उसका बस confirmation ढूंढा था उस point में. और वो भी because उस time back there was this web series जो बहुत famous थी, that
Pictures.
तो उसमें ऐसे pictures, correct.
Pictures.
तो उसमें ऐसे किया था, तो मैंने कहा चलो करके देखते
Naveen
हैं.
Bansal.
Yeah. So, but one instance was one senior of mine, very good, very good, had done excellently well all throughout her law school. She went to corporate, or uske baad, after 6 months, she was planning on leaving it and, planning on appearing for this competitive exam because she just could not do it. So that was one instance. Second instance was one of my senior again was telling that he was working in a good law firm, top tier one. And there he said that he used to come back at like home at 12, and then he had to leave again in the morning at 8. And between that time also he was expected that you are supposed to work because they said that you can wake up at 5 and work. So that was the second nail. Then third was where I was myself interning. I had interned in very good top tier firms like AZB or SAM, etc. So there was 1 week continuously where, and because we were in like college days and we couldn't afford very good points, so we used to get a decent PG और फिर वहां से 2 घंटा लोकल में ट्रैवल करके एकदम प्राइम हॉटशॉट लोकेशन में पहुंच रहे हैं. So then so because of that, what happened was कि 8 बजे सुबह मैं निकली थी. Then I came back home at 3 in the night, and then I was supposed to leave again at 8, and I had done this continuously for a week, Sunday
Oh,
मिला के भी,
oh
because
my
they had this big thing. So then
God.
I was like, even if I earn so much, what am I going to do? What is my health going to be? Then there
Definitely.
was this, I will not name the firm and the case, but there was a very big giant corporate, and there what happened was that matter was related to land acquisition. And I was going through, so we as a corporate firm were representing the corporate giants who were taking over that firm. And they were displacing this really small families of say marginalized labor. And the entire suit was around not compensating them properly for getting a rehabilitation. And you won't be surprised, like they had been living there for generations, and then they were not ready to give them money utna bhi कि वो लोग एक decent सी जगह रह पाए, forget anything else. So and then we were working on that case. So that was, I think, the final lane on the coffin. I was like, what is this happening? Where is my conscience? Like,
Hmm.
when we're talking about good, and I am a constant enthusiast. So when we are talking about, say, socialism and bringing people as equals, and then we are actually doing this, and I did not want to be part of it. So I said, I'll give it a try. Actually,
Hmm.
I always wanted to do litigation, but
Oh.
yeah. So and I was actually preparing for ADPO, but
Okay.
ADPO vacancies didn't come only. This
Okay.
exam vacancies came. So
It
when
did got
people
delayed.
told, yeah,
Yeah.
so people used to tell me कि litigation एक तो first generation बहुत मुश्किल हो जाता है, and on the cost of not sounding feminist, they are having a lot of gender biasness, and females are not given respect there. I have seen this when we've done internships. So people told me that once you get through this, you will have a institutionalized protection, and then whether it's male or female, you're given respect in this profession. So I gave it a shot. Yeah.
So those are basically pretty big reasons for
Yeah.
choosing judiciary as something which you are going to do for the rest of your life. That is a very genuine reason. Okay, Ayushi, I would like to ask a very basic question to you. Apart from Madhya Pradesh, were
Yeah.
you planning to target even more judiciaries as well? Because
No,
Madhya
none,
Pradesh
because
is there and other judiciaries are also there. So were you
because
targeting more judiciaries or just MP?
just MP, because I wanted to be near my parents, no? So that would
Okay.
have not fulfilled that purpose at all. So I had just appeared in MPs. Like, I have always had this thing that I have been very clear about what I want. Like during while I was writing CLAT also, I just filled two forms, CLAT and NLUD. I did not fill any other form. So for civil judge also, I had just filled MPCJ, none else.
That's something that we actually discuss in judiciary gold, क्योंकि घाट घाट का पानी पीने से हो सकता है कि आपको एकदम आपकी तबीयत खराब हो जाए। इससे बेटर है कि आप जिस जगह एक जगह का पानी पीते हैं वहां ही पानी पिए तो आपकी तबीयत सही रहेगी।
और
ये
बहुत
दैट इज
फ्रस्ट्रेशन आता है अगर आप बार बार फेल होते हो तो, और एक बार
एक्चुअली
कंसंट्रेटेड एनर्जी लगा दो ना, वो जो छोटे में अपन नहीं पढ़ते थे कि सन की एनर्जी को ऐसे माइक्रोस्कोप से एक जगह लगा दिया तो जल जाता है, बस वही
बिल्कुल
करना हो।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल डेफिनेटली आयुषी। आयुषी, since you graduated and then as soon as you graduated आपने एग्जामिनेशन में अपीयर किया मध्य प्रदेश सिविल जज के। सो हाउ मच टाइम डिड यू गेट फॉर योर प्रिपरेशन? वन क्वेश्चन। सेकंड क्वेश्चन, अगर टाइम इतना कम था और आपने एक अटेम्प्ट जानबूझ के खुद से अपने विलफुल डिसीजन के थ्रू स्किप किया था, तो व्हाट वाज योर स्ट्रैटेजी इन टोटो फॉर अपीयरिंग फॉर दिस एग्जामिनेशन?
So see, one attempt why I skipped it because मैंने जुलाई 1 से स्टार्ट किया था, एंड अराउंड अगस्त 14 या अगस्त 15 वैकेंसी आ गई थी। तो मुझे फ्रैंकली उस टाइम पेपर का वो भी नहीं पता था कि कैसे पेपर आता है. मैंने पास्ट पेपर्स की बुक तक नहीं खरीदी थी. So I thought this is exactly what I was telling about. Once you start feeling like frustration आने लगती है. I knew that अगर बहुत ज्यादा लक होगा तो इसमें succeed कर जाएंगे क्योंकि hard work तो है नहीं. And you know, I never count on luck. I always count on hard work क्योंकि luck है या नहीं है वो देख लेगा जिसको भी देखना होगा हिसाब. So that was actually a very planned decision. I thought that if I would, you know, fill forms right now and I start giving papers, so what would happen is I will just, you know, I will try to cover all the things very hastily. तो मैं उसको ठीक से नहीं पढ़ूंगी. तो I thought ठीक है यार जाने दो कोई बात नहीं, अगला अटेम्प्ट देखेंगे जब आएगा तो अगली बार पेपर भरेंगे. तो मेरी स्ट्रैटेजी हमेशा यही रही है कि ढंग से अपनी पढ़ाई हो जाए और उसके बाद फिर पेपर आए तो एक कॉन्फिडेंस से इंसान बैठता है कि यार जो आएगा अपन देख लेंगे. तो वो चीज थी. दूसरी बात जैसे कि आई स्टार्टेड इन जुलाई और दिसंबर में नोटिफिकेशन नेक्स्ट आ गया. आई रिमेम्बर फेब में मेरा फ्री था. तो इफ यू कैलकुलेट दैट वुड बी अराउंड 8 months. ठीक है. तो 8 months की प्रिपरेशन थी. बट 8 months में भी आप मतलब लोग तो I had seen people starting preparing from day one of their law college. And you know, I used to also, when I was preparing, say this only, यार लोग 6 साल से प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, मेरा क्या होगा अभी. But you know, it's not the duration that you are preparing, but how hard you are preparing. That's what matters. And that is what I mean. That I can say through my personal experience कि यार यही हुआ है.
Okay. So obviously, what matters is the hard work and dedication. जितना हमारा हार्ड वर्क होगा, जितना हमारा डेडिकेशन होगा, जितना टाइम हम एक पर्टिकुलर टारगेट पे फोकस करके उसे डेडिकेट करेंगे, उतना ही हमारे चांसेस ऑफ रिटर्न बढ़ जाते हैं. सो एज यू सेड आयुषी कि आपका प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन अराउंड फरवरी के आसपास हुआ था. सो जब आपने प्रिलिमिनरी एग्जामिनेशन की अगर बात करें, क्योंकि जुडिशरी में ऑल इंडिया लेवल पे अगर देखें तो एग्जाम्स 3 बेसिक लेवल पे होते हैं, प्रीलिम्स, मेंस एंड इंटरव्यू. सो व्हाट स्पेसिफिकली वाज योर स्ट्रेटजी आयुषी while preparing for preliminary examination? I mean, the books that you referred or the sources that you referred for your preparation specifically for preliminary examination.
So I will tell you one thing. I had consulted a lot of seniors that time because I also wanted guidance. So everybody told me कि पहले BERAT ही पढ़ो, and that is what has helped me. I think I had this 8 months. So yeah, I got a duration of 8 months. So my target was till December. Let me finish all these subjects through BERAT at least, खुद से. And then from January and February, I had kept it for my pre-focused preparation. So till December, I used to study the entire BERAT, even if when I'm doing a revision. And yes, revision is very important because you know, either आप या तो रट लो, तो रटने का talent नहीं था मेरे में. So you know, when you keep on seeing it again and again, the same paper, so you start getting somewhat a photographic memory. आपको दिखने लगता है कि यार ये वाला section number इधर है, इसका head ये है. So that was the trick that I went for. So I used to re-revise each and everything of the same subject. So what I used to do was just Monday to Saturday नया subjects पढ़े. Sunday I used to just revise what I have done for the entire week. I never touched any new topic on Sunday. Okay. And I had also divided my subjects into time periods. And I never did like 6 घंटे बैठेंगे या 8 घंटे बैठेंगे because I get very restless. So I had just divided that today I have to complete this, say 20 sections or 50 sections or whatever my target is for today. I will not sleep till that target has been done. So that has helped me a lot. So because of that revision I retained, and I used to study the BERAT from cover to cover. Like I used to not mark like ये important section है या ये पहले आया हुआ है तो इसको कर ले. First, my basic instinct was to know कि whatever there is in the BERAT, And then I was like, okay, when I'm going to revise or say, when I'm going to do a pre-focused thing, then I will look more into the sections that have been asked. So from January, I started solving, past papers. So I solved around, I think, 15 to 16 years past papers, and not just of MP, but of other states as well. Because they can't see, if it's CRPC, it's going to be same everywhere. They can't just change the law. So that
Obviously.
has given me a question bank of like an exhaustive question bank.
Mm-hmm.
And also some things that that I remembered today as well are because I had solved those papers. So that way till February, I think
Mm-hmm.
I had revised my BERATs around 7 to 8 times, and
Okay.
especially for constitution and evidence. So see,
Mm-hmm.
I was a constitution honors, so I had studied constitution for
Mm-hmm.
about 3 years. So in my
Okay.
law school, so my constitution was very strong. I had remembered the cases on my fingertips. So that did not take a lot of time. So I
Correct.
had that done. Evidence, I recommend everybody to study from book. So that takes a lot of time. But rest all subjects can be prepared from BERAC. And on some important topics, say section 9, section 10, section 11 CPC, or say section 482 CRPC, there
Mm-hmm.
you can look into case law. So first, the
Okay.
focus is on BERAC, not on additional material,
Okay. Okay.
especially in MP.
Okay. So mm, we can say that अगर MP में कोई civil judge target कर रहा है, so for them BERAC is considered to be the Bible, because if you are having a thorough knowledge about the BEAR Act, only then you can consider yourself to be good enough to read any commentary books or any other sources. So BEAR Act is something that you
Correct.
need to master specifically for not just targeting Madhya Pradesh, but for having a basic knowledge of any law if you are appearing for any of
Correct.
the states in our country. Because this is obvious that we derive
Yeah.
the derive that particular knowledge from the Bear Acts only, the Bear statutes only. So that is very, very
Yeah.
obvious.
And
So,
that, so that is one thing that I want to point out also. Just like Whereas, say, people often ask me that, did you mug up the entire Bharat? So, no, that's not humanly possible that you mug up the entire 12 subjects Bharat. Definitions, yes, you have to, because हम छोटे से भी definition वैसे ही याद करते थे. Rest चीज़ आप essential form में बिल्कुल लिख सकते हो. But there is something called language. So, I just want to tell this thing that जैसे कि jurisdiction की बात होती है. So now the BERAC uses the word jurisdiction. तो उसको आपको jurisdiction नहीं लिखना पड़ेगा. उसमें आप power नहीं लिख सकते, because power and
obviously,
jurisdiction will have different meanings in. So where
absolutely.
will you learn that word jurisdiction? That is through BERAC. That is why reading of BERAC is important.
Okay, okay. So that's something which you did for having a basic fundamental knowledge about all the subjects which come in judiciary,
Yeah.
which is very good. For this, I would directly like to talk to my viewers about this. That जैसा आयुषी ने बताया that while you are targeting any particular subject, दिन नहीं देखना है, रात नहीं देखना है, घड़ी नहीं देखनी है. सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट चीज ये है कि आप जो डिसाइड करें दिन के सुबह या एक दिन पहले रात में जो भी डिसाइड करके सोएं कि ये टॉपिक या ये सब्जेक्ट मुझे कल कंप्लीट करना है, वो कंप्लीट होना चाहिए. एंड
Yeah.
दिस वर्क्स फॉर बेयर एक्ट्स टू, कि कवर टू कवर अगर आप रीडिंग करते हैं और सेक्शंस का डाइसेक्शन अगर आप करते हैं, तो दैट इज द की फॉर actually having a good performance, yeah, giving a good performance in various laws. That's something which we can basically make out of what Ayushi is telling us. Ayushi, I would like to ask this कि जैसा आपने एक strategy बताई कि दिसंबर तक आपने अपनी बेयर एक्ट्स को मास्टर किया, उसके बाद आपने प्रीवियस ईयर के क्वेश्चन पेपर्स को लगाना स्टार्ट किया, नॉट जस्ट फॉर मध्य प्रदेश बट फॉर अदर जुडिशरीज एज वेल.
Yeah.
देन आपका प्री का जब एग्जामिनेशन हो गया होगा, तो फिर आपने मेंस के लिए प्रिपरेशन कैसे की, या फिर जब आपका कॉलेज ही खत्म हुआ था तभी से आपकी एक मेंस सेंट्रिक अप्रोच रही होगी? सो मेंस के लिए स्पेसिफिकली आपने खुद को कैसे प्रिपेयर किया?
So no, because main centric approach तो क्या, that's what I was telling you कि मैंने जब कॉलेज से मैं पास आउट हुई थी तब मुझे एग्जाम का पैटर्न तक नहीं पता था, तो उस टाइम पढ़ने का कुछ था नहीं. But I think I have been very clear about one thing, that whatever you are studying for knowledge, it helps. And I will tell you this also how it helps. So what happened was, when I was reading Barrett's पूरे 6 months, no, I never marked कि यार ये मेंस वाला क्वेश्चन है, इसको अच्छे से पढ़ेंगे, बाकी चीजें नहीं पढ़ेंगे अच्छे से. मैंने हर एक सेक्शन उतनी ईमानदारी से पढ़ा है, तो उसका बेनिफिट मुझे बहुत मिला है. When you ask the interview वाला question, I'll tell you there. But अभी for that matter, what happens is कि मैंने उस टाइम इतने अच्छे से पढ़ लिया था that I was clear कि हर सेक्शन का essential क्या है. तो when the mains paper, mains examination comes, so there are 4 papers, और जब 2 महीने बस मिलते हैं, around 2 months, total 2 months भी नहीं मिलते हैं. So there are 4 papers. First और third तो सिविल क्रिमिनल होता है. तो क्या होता है, सिविल क्रिमिनल की तैयारी हर सीरियस एस्पिरेंट की ऑलमोस्ट सेम लेवल पे होती है, बिकॉज कोई बैरक्स नहीं चेंज कर सकता और हर पढ़ने वाला बैरक पढ़ता है. तो कहीं ना कहीं there is not lot of variation in first and third paper. What actually matters is the second and fourth paper there, because once you know your law, you will write first and third paper. और first and third paper का डर एग्जाम के दिन तक लगा रहता है. मैं वो भी अभी बता दूं, because ऐसा लगता है इतना सारा पढ़ना और क्या पूछ लेंगे क्या नहीं पूछ लेंगे. So I had my revision going on, but then after I had cleared my pre, I had started doing one thing for the second paper especially, which is summarization, translation and essay writing paper. So I had started focusing on chalking out legal and social issues which can appear in the examination. So I had a bunch of 30 to 35 essays. So now at that time it was not possible for me to write each and every essay, and I was pathetic that way also. I was very lazy. I did not like to write also. So I was like पढ़ लेंगे लेकिन लिखेंगे नहीं. So I had taken, I had made some notes online नहीं, ऐसे copy paste करके phone पे या इधर पे. There I had some, if it's on adultery, I have the case law, I have the ratio of the case, I have who had given the judgment, what had been held up in that judgment, and something related to it. I just like a note prepared that I could have, go through it. So that's done. Summarization and translation I used to practice every day from the past papers, because that is like maths, especially translation. Those 30 marks are like maths. If it's correct, you are going to get 1 full marks. If it's not correct, you will get 0. So that 30 marks matter a lot when you are being shortlisted for interview. So summarization, translation especially, I had focused on a lot. Then the fourth paper is judgment writing and your charge framing, issue framing. So there are a couple of books in market. I had referred Bharadwaj sir's books. So if you go through that book and practice 1-2 judgments, issues and charge, you will do good in that in a span of 1 week itself. That is more than enough. But then of course that needs practice. So 1 week you learn and then you can keep on practicing that. But translation is somewhere where your vocab plays. So if you do not know the word, like suppose at that time I remember I did not know Hindi of abatement. So अब नहीं आता तो नहीं आता, तो फिर you have to learn. So vocab is something that you have to develop. So once even if I got selected, I went introspected and I realized that I should have started learning words on a daily basis, at least 2 words. I would have had a better vocab. So having said all this, I have to share one personal experience here, because I think that will help your viewers a lot. What happens is, Jabalpur, there is one institute only, Sri Ram Institute, where which is the venue of the mains examination. So on the day of examination, first day, it's 2 days continuous sitting, two papers each day, 4 papers like that. So on the day of my first examination, I had never been to Jabalpur before that. So we got an auto wala who said, "Arey mujhe to rasta pata hai," theek hai? And he took us. We then left on time, but you know he did not know the second route, and the first route was fully jammed. So we got stuck in the traffic jam right in the morning when I have to give the paper, and it was April 27, 28. So scorching heat, right since 7:30. So and my paper was about to start at 9. So then the auto wala bagal mein, he said, "Madam ji, aap to utar jao warna paper chhutega." I walked 2.5 or 3 kilometers to reach my destination. Just bag लेके भागे हैं हम लोग ऐसे कि पेपर ना छूटे. I reached the exam hall 15 minutes late. मतलब there was a time that you could enter. ऐसे नहीं होता 9 बजे पहुंचना और 9:15 के बाद किसी को घुसने नहीं देंगे. तो बस वो heroic entry मैंने ली है वहां पे कि बस घुसे और फिर दरवाजे बंद हो गए. Then I thought कि you know हर exam hall में क्योंकि पानी तो रहता ही है तो पानी वो दे देंगे. These people did not have water. So you know I started fainting, like my eyes started blackening out. I couldn't just see the paper. It's not that first half an hour or 40 minutes I could just not even fill my roll number in that paper. That is first civil paper that I'm talking about. और हमारे बैच का civil paper बहुत easy आया था, सब past year का copy आया था. So I couldn't write for like 45 minutes. Now I was sure कि अब तो paper छूटना ही है, कुछ भी कर लो, I wouldn't be able to cover up. So see, I always had this mind that I'm going to attempt the best answer first. जिसका भी मुझे best answer आता होगा. 5 मिनट मैंने question paper पढ़ने को दिए. I just wrote 1, 2, 3, 4 की sequence में मुझे question पे attempt करना है. उसके बाद I started writing. ठीक है? I started writing and I wrote. Obviously मेरा 20 नंबर का छूटा ही. I couldn't help it. I knew it. 20 नंबर unattempted, वो भी सबसे silly question, temporary injunction type के. उसके बाद after the first paper I came out. Obviously I was feeling bad, but then you know I thought कि यार यही तो करने के लिए आए थे, तो अब पूरा मान के I'm going to you know spoil all my 3 papers next. So I had कि छोड़ो अब जो होगा होगा. So I had decided कि select तो नहीं हो रहे, लेकिन I thought I'll give my best. Let me see कि बाकी subjects की preparation कैसी है कि अगले attempt में काम आ जाएगी. So second paper I remember was this summarization translation वाला paper, and उसमें क्या हुआ था, हमारे यहाँ जो topic आ गया था वो judicial review आ गया था लिखने के लिए, and people were not ready with judicial review, and that's where I told you ना कि हमेशा मैंने knowledge के लिए पढ़ा और किसी चीज के लिए नहीं पढ़ा. मेरा जुडिशियल रिव्यू आया, आई स्टार्टेड राइटिंग, आई न्यू लॉट ऑफ केस लॉस, मेरा अच्छा गया. सेकंड पेपर के बाद लोग रोते हुए बाहर आए थे जहां पे उन्होंने पूरा क्वेश्चन पेपर अटेम्प्ट किया था, एंड आई वाज लाइक डूड आई हैड टू क्राई आल्सो बिकॉज़ मेरा तो 20 मार्क्स का छूटा, बट आई वाज जस्ट स्माइलिंग एंड चर्पिंग कि हो गया अब तो ठीक है. थर्ड और फोर्थ पेपर भी ऐसे ही निकला, और थर्ड पेपर तो डिफिकल्ट भी आया था. देन आई वाज लाइक ठीक है अब तो हो गया. सो व्हेन आई केम बैक भोपाल I was like इंटरव्यू के लिए तो नहीं बुलाएंगे. So I was chill. So I had I took a break for like 2 months 2 weeks or something, and then I started preparing again कि ठीक है अब अगले attempt में देखी जाएगी. And the results came, the results of mains came that I'm shortlisted for interview. I was like what? And then I had my interview right on the third day itself. So interview के लिए भी कहीं जाने का नहीं था. I prepared on my own. So there I realized, how important is to have right temperament when you are approaching or attempting any competitive exam. You are going to have bad day. You might, पेपर छूट जाएगा, या एक अच्छा आता हुआ आंसर तुम नहीं लिख पाओगे, या ये बहुत चीजें होंगी. But what is important is to have a positive outlook.
Absolutely.
देखा जाएगा, कोई बात नहीं. That's not the end of life. And once you have that outlook, you will do well. That's what I think the entire takeaway has been for me.
Okay. This is not just the story of clearing an examination. This is more of a story of determination as well.
Correct.
Because one thing that I have noticed in this entire um, preparation journey, which you have shared with us, is that you were never ready to give up,
Yeah.
which is the best part for any person who is preparing for any competitive examination. Obviously, the auto wala took you to the wrong track, and everything that you have told, which was going against your preparation, your hard work, but still we were not having any let go approach, which actually worked. And that is something which is the biggest takeaway from any person who has cleared civil judge examination, कि भाई हार नहीं माननी है. That is the best part.
You have to star, like you have to be the star in your own movie. Nobody would be. So
Actually, that's
the more
really good.
hurdles you have, I think you are going to make a more blockbuster movie. That's how I think we can see this.
Absolutely, absolutely. You'll at least have to be the hero of your own movie.
Yeah,
That's
correct.
that's something which is undeniable, an undeniable truth. Yes.
Yes. And let
Yushi,
me
huh?
share one thing here.
Yes.
There were days जब हम लोग के भी मार्क्स अच्छे नहीं आते थे, क्योंकि ऐसे स्वर्ग से उतर के हम भी नहीं आए थे कि सब पढ़ के आए. There were days when बिल्कुल उठने का मन नहीं करता, ऐसा लगता सोते रहो, नहीं याद हो रही है ये सेक्शन. So I used to start playing some very good songs. जैसे दंगल दंगल चल रहा है, 2-3 बार चला दिया तो उसका मूड फ्रेश हो गया. तो वो चीज है. You can, I always say this, that you can hear other people, you can find inspiration in their stories, but motivation, जैसे मोटिव भी पढ़ते हैं ना, अंदर से आता है. मोटिवेशन अंदर से ही आता है, आपको लाना ही पड़ेगा अगर आपको करना है. तो just
Actually.
keep on doing things whatever you want.
So that is something which all our viewers are going to find out, that this is not just a session on how to be a civil judge. This is also a session on how to be a very determined human being, which is the best part of this particular session. Ayushi, I'd like to ask about one specific point which is related to your journey of mains examination, that while writing answers for civil law and for criminal law, was there any specific pattern that you followed? Because you said that you were not expecting an interview call, but still, was there a magic trick which actually got you an interview call, or was that a very good pattern of writing an answer which worked for your ultimate selection? Was there a pattern?
So for, like, let me just put one more tragedy there and then I will put a solution to it. I have a horrible handwriting. If I
Oh,
would share something here, you would be like, क्या लिख दिया इसने, मतलब लड़कियों की handwriting इतनी बुरी होती है. You would probably comment that. So
okay.
right from my childhood, I've been getting remarks like, very good, please improve your handwriting. So that's been stated. It was more difficult for me, क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो क्या है, सतरंगी पेन भी नहीं इस्तेमाल कर सकते. आपकी हैंडराइटिंग बुरी है ही, अब वो 8 महीने में ठीक नहीं हो सकती. So what would I do is, I had always followed right from my college no nonsense policy, कि
Oh,
एक भी शब्द जो बकवास हो या irrelevant हो वो लिखना ही नहीं है, भले आंसर 2 पेज में खत्म हो जाए तो हो जाए. अब क्या
oh.
हुआ था कि
Mhm.
सिविल पेपर में तो मेरे पास कुछ एक्स्ट्रा लिखने की चॉइस ही नहीं थी, क्योंकि मेरा पेपर ही ऑलमोस्ट छूट गया था. तो I maintained that in my criminal paper also. So whatever is asked, I always write to the point.
Okay.
There is a difference being in
Mm.
short and to the point. To the point आप लिखो, हर चीज कवर करो, लेकिन आप क्या है कि आप शॉर्ट में लिख के निपटाते हो जब, तब आपके नंबर कटते हैं. और कुछ लोग क्या करते हैं, पूरी गाथा लिखना स्टार्ट हो जाता है. So you have to understand, you know, it's normal psychology thing. You have to understand from, you know, the person who is checking your answer sheets also. अगर आपसे ये पूछा जा रहा है कि when can you arrest without warrant, आप पूरा स्टार्ट कर रहे हो कि अरेस्ट ये होता है, वारंट केस ये होते हैं, उसको अपना जवाब नहीं मिल रहा ना. वो जब खो रहा है, when he feels that you're beating around the bush, तब he is not going to give you right marks. But when he sees सीधे कि, you know, section 41 is talking about this, and then there are some certain preventive actions where you can do so, तो जब उसको एकदम सही आंसर मिल रहा है, सही सेक्शन मिल रहा है, तो इवन इफ अगर वो क्लॉज वाइज नहीं लिखा हुआ है, वो पॉइंट वाइज लिखा हुआ है, आपको मार्क्स अच्छे मिलते हैं. एंड आई हैड, you know, had this strategy in my college also, but college में ज्यादा appreciate नहीं करा जाता है, या mostly colleges में वो थोड़ा सा पन्ने भरने वाला system होता है. Having said that, I think मैंने तो यार यही किया कि मैंने to the point लिखा, and that worked well for me. Regarding my handwriting, I couldn't change my handwriting, so what I did was थोड़ा सा spacing बढ़ा दिया कि वो legible हो जाए. If it's not good handwriting, make it a legible handwriting, and that would do. तो spacing बढ़ा दिया थोड़ा सा, और maybe फिर as follows जैसे लिखा, तो एक लाइन छोड़ के फिर 1 2 3 4 points डाल दिए. तो my answer sheet, if I would recall now, is more like as follows, और 1 2 3 4 करके essentials लिखे हुए या ऐसे लिखा हुआ. तो वो चीज. And people also ask me lot of things here, so let me just address it here. कि इंट्रोडक्शन और कंक्लूजन लिखना कितना जरूरी है हर आंसर में. इंट्रोडक्शन लिखें, बॉडी लिखें, कंक्लूजन लिखें. So that is entirely going to depend on what kind of question has been asked. Absolutely. And let me just put it in an example. Like question पूछा गया है, what are the expanding horizons of Article 21? ठीक है. So यहाँ पे आपको इंट्रोडक्शन लिखना पड़ेगा कि what is Article 21 and how is it has changed. And maybe your body will get its expanding horizon, and in conclusion you can write that as soon as life gets more of meaning, etc., it's going to expand further while taking a modern view. But मान लो आपको एक example दिया गया है कि, you know, a girl had a person A was stalking a girl B, and he was about to snatch her dress, and in that she picked up a stone and cracked that stone on person A's head. What offense has been committed as a woman? Okay, here you can't, you know, keep on writing introduction, body, conclusion, etc. यहाँ पे आपको directly लिखना पड़ेगा that B has committed no offense because she has was well versed in her right of private defense, and then you can write about this section provides for private defense, and this section allows you to even cause the death of the perpetrator or something like this. So you are getting my point. The point is, जैसा question है, आप जवाब वैसा लिखो. आप एक pre-planned में नहीं जा सकते.
Actually, because most of the students face this problem that they have very recently passed their college, and college में एक आंसर राइटिंग का पैटर्न बिल्कुल डिफरेंट होता है. एक्टिव टू पैसिव, पैसिव टू एक्टिव, बहुत लंबे लंबे आंसर्स लिखना, आंसर्स के बीच में 2 लाइन गाने की भी लिख दी. तो ये एक बेसिक फंडामेंटल तरीका होता है किसी भी स्टूडेंट का जो एक रेगुलर नॉर्मल कॉलेज ग्रेजुएट होता ही है. बट जैसी ट्रिक हमें आयुषी ने बताई, मैं व्यूअर्स को बताना चाहूंगा 2 मेजर पॉइंट्स जो आयुषी ने यहाँ पे हमें टिप के फॉर्म में या ट्रिक के फॉर्म में प्रोवाइड किए हैं. वन इज दैट, पहली चीज, अगर आपसे कोई भी क्वेश्चन पूछा गया है तो पहले तो ये देखिए कि क्वेश्चन क्या है. क्वेश्चन को जज कीजिए, क्वेश्चन के बेसिस पे जज कीजिए कि आपका पैटर्न क्या होगा. So there is no one airtight rule for writing all the answers to all the questions. हर बार एक टाइप का आंसर पैटर्न हर एक क्वेश्चन पे एप्लीकेबल नहीं हो सकता. जैसा आयुषी ने बताया, फैक्चुअल क्वेश्चन होगा तो उसे आंसर करने का तरीका अलग होगा. किसी भी होराइजन बेस्ड या इलैबोरेशन बेस्ड अगर क्वेश्चन होगा तो उसका एक अलग अप्रोच होगा. Another trick which Ayushi said, which is different from general cliche tricks that we see, is आयुषी ने एक ऐसी प्रॉब्लम को एड्रेस किया जो बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स के दिमाग में रहती है कि भाई हमारी हैंडराइटिंग थोड़ी सी गड़बड़ है, हमारी हैंडराइटिंग थोड़ी सी खराब है, नॉलेज पूरी है, नॉलेज इज नॉट एन इशू, बट हैंडराइटिंग प्रॉब्लम है। फिर हैंडराइटिंग के इस जंजाल से पार कैसे पाया जाए? सो बेसिक फंडामेंटल ट्रिक जो आयुषी ने हमें बताई है दैट इज कि अगर आप जानते हैं कि आपकी हैंडराइटिंग खराब है, आपके पास कम टाइम है, आप उसे सुधार नहीं सकते, लेट्स से 6 months और 8 months जैसा आयुषी ने बताया, important thing is that you at least make sure that while writing an answer your handwriting is legible, there is proper spacing, there is usage of words, so such words which are legible. अगर वर्ड्स लेजिबल हैं तो फिर आपकी हैंडराइटिंग अच्छी या बुरी मैटर नहीं करेगी, सिर्फ और सिर्फ आपका कंटेंट मैटर करेगा, एंड दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द डिसाइडिंग फैक्टर।
Let me just add one more thing here.
Obviously.
For their motivation also, जो कॉपीज चेक करते हैं ना, वो एडीजीज चेक करते हैं, तो they are accustomed to reading even baddest handwriting, because यहाँ पे जो वकील होते हैं एकदम जल्दी जल्दी में ऐसे लिख के आवेदन दे देते हैं. So as long as your handwriting is legible, रेस्ट अश्योर्ड कि आपका पेपर पढ़ा जाएगा. आप ऐसा मत सोचना कि मेरे को गंदी हैंडराइटिंग की वजह से कम नंबर मिले. राइट द कंटेंट लेजिबली, दैट विल डू.
Okay, that's really good आयुषी, cause हमारे व्यूअर्स को ये एक इशू तो रहता ही है, एंड ये एक बहुत ही फंडामेंटल इशू है जो किसी भी एक जनरल पर्सन के दिमाग में आएगा ही. टॉकिंग अबाउट वन ऑफ द वेरी बेसिक टॉपिक्स, जो कि क्वेश्चन आता है कि बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स ने लॉ के सब्जेक्ट्स तो पढ़े होते हैं, जजमेंट राइटिंग इज अ सब्जेक्ट जो कॉलेज में अपने लॉ स्कूल्स में हमने नहीं पढ़े होते. तो जजमेंट राइटिंग को एस करने के लिए फ्रॉम द मेंस पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, व्हाट कैन बी द प्रॉपर टिप्स एंड ट्रिक्स फॉर दैट, फॉर जजमेंट राइटिंग स्पेसिफिकली?
See, the first thing, let me talk about criminal first. So there are basic magistral tribal cases जो रहते हैं, वो basically उससे ही पूछते हैं. तो या तो सिंपल हर्ट का, ग्रीवियस हर्ट का मामला होगा, चाहे वो चोरी का मामला देंगे, ऑलमोस्ट, या फिर एक्सीडेंट का देंगे. So these are the basic things that we also see in our day-to-day courts. तो जो आप पास पेपर्स उठा के देख लो, यही सब ऑल्टरनेट में चलते हैं, यही 3-4 सेक्शंस. सो व्हाट आई वुड सजेस्ट इज फर्स्ट बी थरो विद दीस सेक्शंस. क्यों? आई विल नॉट से कि आप हर एक सेक्शन की बैठ के पनिशमेंट्स याद करो, लेकिन इन सेक्शंस की कर लो. क्यों? बिकॉज मान लो कि सेक्शन में प्रोवाइडेड ही है कि आप 1 साल तक की पनिशमेंट दे चुके हो और आप भागो के 3 साल का कन्विक्शन कर दिए, तो आपका पूरा जजमेंट गलत हो गया. सो हियर एंड जजमेंट का सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ऑपरेटिव पार्ट होता है, बिकॉज हमको कितना 3 मतलब कुछ लाइंस या 3 पैराग्राफ के हमें एविडेंस दिए जा रहे हैं, तो उस एविडेंस में इतना कुछ आपको नहीं मिलने वाला है. वो एविडेंस अप्रिसिएशन कहीं ना कहीं सेम ही जाने वाला है. बट आप जैसे कुछ चीजों पे ध्यान दो, जैसे कि आप 428 के बारे में बात करो, या आप कन्विक्शन कर रहे हो तो फ्री कॉपी ऑफ अक्यूज्ड की बात करो, या चाहे आप कॉम्पनसेशन दिलाओ उन्हें. सो जो बेसिकली ऑपरेटिव सेक्शन है, ऑपरेटिव पार्ट है आपका जजमेंट का, वो आप अच्छे से प्रिपेयर करो, बिकॉज दैट इज बीइंग सीन एंड जज्ड इन टोटलिटी. कि अगर आपने सब बहुत बढ़िया लिख दिया पर सेंटेंस में इलीगैलिटी कर दी, तो आपका जजमेंट क्वॉश होना है. तो वो चीज है. और सिविल में क्या है कि सिविल ऑल्सो, क्रिमिनल एंड सिविल में फर्क है प्रोबेबिलिटीज का. जो हम पढ़ते हैं तो हम समझ जाते हैं, मतलब पढ़ते हैं तो याद रहता है कि सिविल इज प्रिपॉन्डरेंस ऑफ प्रोबेबिलिटीज एंड क्रिमिनल इज बियॉन्ड रीजनेबल डाउट. बट इसका एक्चुअली कहाँ पे लग रहा है? वो एक्चुअली जजमेंट में ही लग रहा है. तो यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस व्हाइल राइटिंग. कन्विक्शन लिख रहे हो चाहे एक्विटल लिख रहे हो, यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. इसीलिए सिविल जजमेंट ज्यादा बैलेंस हो जाता है, क्योंकि आपने एविडेंस जहां जिसके फेवर में देखी और कर दिया, तो उसके गलत होने की प्रोबेबिलिटीज कम होती है. बट क्रिमिनल में गलत होने की प्रोबेबिलिटी ज्यादा हो जाती है. एंड वन मोर थिंग, इफ यू आस्क पीपल व्हाट दे डिस्कस इज, अरे एक्विटल किया या कन्विक्शन किया, इससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. किस बेसिस पे किया है उससे फर्क पड़ता है, क्योंकि मे बी इफ आई एम गिवन द सेम फैक्ट्स एंड एविडेंस, आई माइट सी यार ये तो बियॉन्ड रीजनेबल डाउट प्रूव हो रहा है, आई माइट डू कन्विक्शन, बट ऑन द सेम फैक्ट्स यू कैन डू एक्विटल। तो ये जो चीज है ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, और दैट इज व्हाई आई मेंशन कि एविडेंस एक्ट जो है उसको लॉ मतलब उसको बुक से पढ़ना इंपॉर्टेंट है। अच्छी बुक ले लो कोई, जैसे अवतार, आई स्टडीड फ्रॉम अवतार सिंह, अवतार सिंह ले लो, रीसेंट लैंग्वेज है, आपको समझ में आना चाहिए, क्योंकि क्या है कि आपका 114 जैसे अभी पढ़ते हैं तो लोग प्री या मेंस के लिए उड़ा देते हैं, पर 114 का प्रिजम्पशन जो है वो आपके जजमेंट में ही लगने वाला है कि भाई if somebody is having the possession of stolen goods, so the presumption is either he is a thief or receiver of stolen goods। तो ये presumption आप कहाँ से लाओगे, वो लॉ के अंडरस्टैंडिंग से, तो वो आपके कहीं जजमेंट में नहीं लिखेगा, फैक्ट में नहीं लिखेगा, लेकिन वो आपके बेयर एक्ट में लिखा हुआ है। So it's your application of law only that they are going to see. Now once coming back to civil भी there are very pretty decent topics that they choose। वो या तो अकोमोडेशन का देते हैं कि रेंट वगैरह नहीं दिया और उसको खुद के बोनाफाइड उसके लिए चाहिए, बोनाफाइड रिक्वायरमेंट दे देते हैं, वो 12(1)A या 12(1)E का ग्राउंड दे देते हैं, या कभी कभार वो ये बोल देते हैं कि द प्रॉमिसरी नोट का जो एग्जीक्यूशन है वही चैलेंज कर देते हैं कि इट वाज नॉट एग्जीक्यूटेड और एग्जीक्यूटेड। अगेन हियर द एविडेंस लॉ इज गोइंग टू प्ले, बिकॉज आप जब जाओगे 72 या उधर के सेक्शंस पढ़ने तो वहां पे एग्जीक्यूशन के लिए एक ही विटनेस काफी है, और वो लिख रहा होगा वहां पे कि एक विटनेस ने बोला कि इट वाज एग्जीक्यूटेड। सो इट या टीपीए का मैटर होगा या कॉन्ट्रैक्ट ब्रीच होगा, इससे बाहर तो जाएगा नहीं। So what you can do is कि आप एक बार ना लॉ पढ़ लो और फिर पास्ट पेपर में उठा के अपने एक एक जजमेंट भी अलग अलग टाइप का लिख लिया तो वो हो जाता है।
Okay, so that was a pretty exhaustive um, information that has been given by Ayushi regarding जजमेंट राइटिंग, क्योंकि सिविल के लिए कैसा अप्रोच लेना है, क्रिमिनल के लिए कैसा अप्रोच लेना है, बैकबोन इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट को मान के चलना है, which is a very basic necessity। क्योंकि कई बार स्टूडेंट्स ऐसा करते हैं कि वो अपने प्रोसीजरल लॉज को हवा में उड़ा देते हैं या इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट को हवा में उड़ा देते हैं, जैसा एक सेक्शन जैसा कि आयुषी ने बताया, सेक्शन 114 इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट का, जिसे कई बार लोग इग्नोर कर देते हैं, बट विच इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर एनी स्टूडेंट हु इज मतलब गोइंग फॉर जजमेंट राइटिंग की अगर आप प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हो तो इंडियन एविडेंस एक्ट, एज आई सेड, it is supposed to be, it is in fact your backbone for judgment writing and procedural laws की नॉलेज के साथ साथ एविडेंस एक्ट जितना अच्छे से आप जानते हैं, जितना अच्छे से आपने उसके प्रोविजंस को समझा है, पढ़ा है, वो सब आपके लिए बेनिफिशियल होने वाला है। talking about one of the secondary, not secondary, very important part of mains examination, that is the translation part। जो ट्रांसलेशन का, लैंग्वेज का एक पेपर होता है। सो आयुषी, I'd like to ask you कि ट्रांसलेशन के लिए आपने खुद को कैसे प्रिपेयर किया, क्योंकि आपने बताया कि अगर ट्रांसलेशन में या तो मार्क्स मिलते हैं या फिर मार्क्स बिल्कुल नहीं मिलते हैं, तो मैथ्स की तरह चलता है पूरा हिसाब। सो व्हाट वाज योर स्ट्रेटजी फॉर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर language and specifically translation?
See, so I like have a decent English, so English में मुझे issue नहीं था। issue क्या था हिंदी में, when I was about to convert say English to हिंदी में, तो that was the main issue, because I don't know the Hindi exact term for the word that is written in English, like I said, abatement. So there I had taken a coaching for it, but then to there also they tell you this only, that grammar में क्या फर्क आ रहा है। So most important thing is your grammar needs to be correct, and for grammar, like even if you read, firstly what I started doing was I started learning the words like in legal dictionary. So because I was in National Law College also, and my bare acts were all universal based, I did not even have Dicklot bare acts. So what I did was I went to the bookstore and I told him that, see, I want a book for translation. So he only gave me a book. I don't even remember the author's name because that is immaterial. What I needed was a legal glossary, which is present in any translation book. So I started learning two, three words each day from for 2 months there, so that I have a decent legal vocab to attempt the paper. And every day without fail, I gave 1 hour for this translation. No matter, you know, I'm starting any civil paper or criminal paper, because that's what I said. People fret a lot for first and third paper, but it's actually the second paper that makes the difference. So I was pretty clear that, I have to do this. So I used to dedicate around 1.5 2 hours for second paper. So half an hour was for, researching about the social and legal issues, etc. 1 hour was for translation. So I used to pull out the old papers unsolved. I used to translate those given there, and then I used to cross check from their answer sheets, or maybe I would just show it to my sir. So I used to just get it, and once I started, doing it, I started getting the hang of it. So I understood, where I am committing the mistake. So that was a learn by own DIY method.
So that is the best way, because we too suggest our aspirants, our students who are connected to us, that you'll have to have, if you, because most of the students, they study from barracks, which are of universal, but we do recommend them to go for diglot edition, or rather, the pronunciation doesn't matter, the diglot edition, to actually look into what are the Hindi terms or English terms and vice versa for the basic terminology, because this is a pattern that we have seen in past few years, that while the questions are asked in the mains examination, those questions are some way or the other legal in nature.
Yeah, they
Even
have
if
started asking more legal questions. That is the
Yes,
thing.
yes, that has been a recent trend in past few years, that now the terminology as in translation is also legal. So if you have prepared yourself for legal translation, if you are well prepared for legal translation, then in that case you'll not fear about anything, because this is not a general translation. This is a legal
Correct.
translation.
Correct.
So the that is the difference. Normal Hindi and legal Hindi, normal English and legal English. That is something which differs an ordinary man from a professional law student, as we say. So
Grammar, you get the heck of grammar in 1 week itself. So your grammar is done. It's all about the vocab. That's what I was telling. So once I introspect, because I remember I was asked this question in my interview. Justice Sheena, who was sitting in my judge as a judge in my interview board, and he said, "आप तो English medium है, आप कैसे करेंगे हिंदी?" तो मैंने I told him, sir, I will learn it across the way. So he told me this only. अच्छा, टेम्पररी इंजंक्शन की हिंदी बताइए, and my mind went blank because I couldn't just remember what temporary injunction is. मेरे में स्पेसिफिक रिलीफ की हिंदी घुसी दिमाग में घूम रही थी, बिकॉज वही रटा था.
uh,
तो इसलिए that's why I tell them that you have to start learning words on a daily basis. vocab ऐसे ही बढ़ेगा.
so vocab and grammar, these are the two just crux points that we need to make sure that we work on while we are preparing ourselves for translation. So that is the key process for
Yes.
basically mastering the entire process of translation. Okay, talking about
Yes.
the the very big thing out of which everybody is scared for, yeah, thinking about, which gives goosebumps to people, is the personal interview. As you said that a question was asked, what is the Hindi of injunction, and my mind went blank. It happens with most of the judiciary aspirants that they are pretty fearful, and if not fearful, they're a bit cautious, or a very on an altogether different level, they are anxious or nervous for the personal interview. So what can be the best tips, Ayushi, for anyone who's preparing themselves for personal interview?
See, I will not say tips because I always feel that something works for someone and something doesn't work for someone. So I will tell you what I did and what worked for me. Exactly what you said was most people are nervous and fearful. So वो चीज जहन से हटाना नामुमकिन है. Everybody goes through it. Even we went through it. But that's what I was telling, that it's your movie and you are supposed to be the star. So I was like, yeah, and all the more what the story that I was telling, मेरे लिए इंटरव्यू में शॉर्टलिस्ट होना ही बहुत बड़ा सरप्राइज था, बिकॉज 20 नंबर का छूट गया था. तो when I got that chance, I was like, why not make the best out of it? Nervous मैं भी थी. मैं जब इनिशियली वहां पे जाके बैठी थी, मेरे भी पैर कांप रहे थे. But I was like, see, I will not let nervousness or fear take over my brain, because इसी के लिए तो आए हैं ना यार, तो ही करना है बस. So that is how I started easing myself, and more. So interview was not very difficult when you understand how they are going to operate. तो वो तुम्हें स्टडी कर रहे हैं, तुम उनको स्टडी करो. तो मैंने पूरी स्टडी कर ली है. So what happened was, they were trying to put a lot of pressure, because see, and I understand that now also, because more I introspect about my interview day, I realized कि उन्होंने कितना tactfully वो handle किया. Because once you are on board, once you are in court, तुम्हारे पास barracks रखी हुई है. You can always read the law. What you need to understand is how you are going to, have the board management, how you are going to deal with the pressure, and how you are going to deal with the stress that's coming your way. And that is exactly what they check there, कि आपको handle करने के लायक हो या नहीं हो. So they put a lot of pressure. I'll tell you what happened. मैं जैसे इंटरव्यू में घुसी, so you can see I look, small and like just college passed out. उस time तो बिल्कुल वही look था भी. They were like, you are 23, we can't take you. हम इतने छोटों को जज नहीं बना सकते, जाओ आपका इंटरव्यू खत्म. This was their one line. Just I've entered, I've with them, मैं बैठी भी नहीं हूँ, and they told this. नहीं, हम आपको नहीं जज बना सकते. Then I just looked them and I smiled and I said, sir, but at least give me a chance to give an interview. So that is how my interview started. कि पहले they both were sitting, discussing, not even looking. Yeah, 23, नहीं बनाएंगे, जाओ. This is the point my interview began. Just imagine when I said, my legs were shaking कि एक शब्द गलत बोला, यहाँ से बाहर कर देंगे वो तुरंत उठा के. तो but then उस चीज ने यार डर भी निकाल दिया कि यार ठीक है, क्या हुआ, जब से सिलेक्शन ही तो नहीं होगा बस. So it works either ways. From there I started. Now what I was telling is कि मैंने पूरा क्रैक कर लिया है is because they work on this basis कि वो आप पे प्रेशर डालेंगे and they want to see how you react. अगर आप चिढ़ते हो, इरिटेट होते हो, या खुद के ऊपर आप कंट्रोल नहीं रख पाते हो, या your facial muscle also changes. They note everything because they have that many years of experience. Next thing that I have seen is so I will, this also why I have got to know, because once I came out of interview, मेरे लिए सब नया हो रहा था, ठीक है. I was swarmed, like my parents were at a distance of say 2 feet, and I was swarmed with people, and I couldn't realize it. I just wanted to go to my parents and tell them कि अब कैसा हुआ मेरा interview. And then I thought okay ये लोग किसी और चीज के लिए होंगे, मैं ऐसे साइड होके चलने लगी. And they were like, आपको इंटरव्यू कैसा हुआ, क्या हुआ बताओ. And they were already their aspirants, चाहे तो और their family members, to note down the questions कि इनसे क्या पूछा गया है ताकि अगले चल के बताएं. But I'm sorry to say this doesn't work that way also, because your interview is what you were saying, the next question they are going to ask from what you have said. जैसे they had asked me about right of private defense. I was telling them, so they asked me to give an example. The example that I gave was somehow related to murder and culpable homicide. So the next question they asked me was about murder and culpable homicide. So that is, see, if you don't answer tactfully, they will control the interview. But once you are tactful, कि यार नहीं, मेरा तो यार मर्डर कल्पेबल होमोसाइड का फंडा क्लियर है, चलो यही एग्जांपल घुसाते हैं। तो दैट इज क्विक थिंकिंग। आपने वो डाला तो बेसिक क्वेश्चन है कि सामने वाला पूछेगा यार इसका फर्क बताओ, तो वो खुद अपने दिमाग में जो सोच के बैठा होता है वो उससे हटके आपसे पूछने लगता है। एंड दैट इज अ वेरी स्मार्ट ट्रिक टू हैव लॉन्गर इंटरव्यूज, लीव गुड इंप्रेशन एंड कंट्रोल द इंटरव्यू। वंस यू आर इन कंट्रोल, आपका डर निकल जाता है। जब तक वो कंट्रोल में लगते हैं ऐसा लगता है यार क्या ही पूछ लेंगे, बात वो है।
Actually, because Ayushi, again, one of the very important points which is highlighted by Ayushi is कि if you are the captain of your own ship and if you are the one who's controlling the interview, then आपके लिए एक केक वॉक तो नहीं but एक बहुत easy way हो जाता है. Then you'll know what the next step is going to be taken. But if the other person, if the board members are controlling the interview, then that can get a bit, a bit difficult for all the aspirants who are facing interview, because already you are nervous, you are in a very, very nervous state, and then the other person is able to control your facial expressions, your emotions, your condition. So that is not going to help you much. But if you are in control of your own self and you have faith in your knowledge that you have acquired through a lot and lot of hard work, then definitely it will be you who will be controlling the interview, and you will be knowing what can be, as Ayushi said, what can be the possible next question. Because if मैंने वही example use किया या एक topic को उसी topic से relate किया जो मैं जानता हूँ, तो obvious है कि सामने से भी वही question आएगा जिसका मैंने example put किया. So that is a very, very smart, tactful approach for cracking interview.
And
So,
what that I want to add, one is do not bluff, क्योंकि उनकी जितनी तुम्हारी उम्र नहीं है उतनी उनकी सर्विस है। तो अगर नहीं आता, जैसे कि मेरा टेम्पररी इंजंक्शन मुझे नहीं आता था, आई जस्ट टुक like 10 seconds to recall, नहीं याद आया, I told him sorry sir, I'm not aware of it. आपका गलत बोलना नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट डालता है, नहीं जानना नहीं डालता है। एंड दे आस्क वेरी बेसिक क्वेश्चंस, जैसे कि वो बेसिक, जैसे आईपीसी के बेसिक्स पूछे उन्होंने, एमपीएलआरसी के बेसिक्स पूछे, एविडेंस एक्ट का बेसिक पूछा, 165 पूछा उन्होंने, जो जैसे क्रिमिनल में रिव्यू बार होती है या नहीं होती है, कितनी होती है, तो वो बहुत बेसिक्स पूछते हैं। आपके बेसिक्स क्लियर होने चाहिए। एंड दैट अगेन ब्रिंग्स मी टू द फैक्ट कि आपके बेसिक्स कहाँ से क्लियर होंगे, वो आपके बेयर एक्ट रीडिंग से क्लियर होंगे जब आप कवर टू कवर पढ़ोगे। एंड ऑल्सो so that why I was telling this, मैंने कहा था मैं इंटरव्यू के टाइम बात बताऊंगी, सेक्शन 4 सीआरपीसी कोई नहीं पढ़ता, ठीक है, बट क्योंकि मेरी कवर टू कवर पढ़ने की आदत थी, मैंने पढ़ा था और सर ने बस ऐसे ही मन किया कि चलो पूछ के देखते हैं, बिकॉज मैं लगातार सही सही आंसर दे रही थी। ही आस्क्ड मी कि जो सीआरपीसी आने से पहले एग्जीक्यूटिव मजिस्ट्रेट या जुडिशियल मजिस्ट्रेट जिनमें फर्क नहीं था, उनके हिसाब से कोर्ट कैसे इंटरप्रेट होगा। एंड आई वाज अवेयर ऑफ इट क्योंकि मैंने सेक्शन 4 पढ़ा था, तो मैंने उसकी 2 कंडीशंस का जवाब दे दिया था। सर को 2 मिनट लगा टाइम, सर ने कहा नहीं नहीं ये, मैंने कहा नहीं सर ये क्लॉज ये बोलता है और ये क्लॉज ये बोलता है। उसके बाद he opened his bare act, he saw it, and then he was so impressed that he did not ask me any single question, other sir ही पूछते रहे मुझे। and during my interview only उन्होंने मुझे 3-4 बार good बोल दिया था। So I knew my interview went well and I scored also very well in the interview. So the whole point is, आप जब देखो आपको पता है कि इंटरव्यू देना है, बट उसमें मजे करो, गिव योर बेस्ट, क्योंकि तुमने पढ़ा है, अगर डिस्प्ले करने का मौका मिल रहा है तो दिखाओ फिर वो चीज।
Okay, that's true, that's completely true. क्योंकि अगर आप इंटरव्यू फेस कर रहे हैं तो आप जानते हैं, आपको खुद पे भरोसा रखना होगा कि आपको लॉ की नॉलेज है। आपको डेफिनेटली ऐसी सिचुएशन में, ऐसी पोजीशन में लाया जाएगा, डेलिबरेटली डाला जाएगा जहां पे आपकी नॉलेज को, ऐसा हो सकता है कि आप खुद की नॉलेज को क्वेश्चन करने लगे। बट इफ यू आर थरो विद योर सब्जेक्ट, इफ यू आर थरो विद वॉट एवर यू हैव स्टडीड, आप ना तो फंबल करोगे, आपसे गलती होने की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं है, और अगर गलती होती भी है तो फिर भाई मानने में कैसी शर्म। ये एक बेसिक फंडामेंटल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक होनी चाहिए फॉर एनी पर्सन हु इज अपियरिंग इन एन इंटरव्यू, कि भाई अगर आपको कोई कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं आता, या उस टाइम पे अगर वो कॉन्सेप्ट आपको खुदा न खास्ता क्लिक नहीं कर रहा है, तो इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आप गलत आंसर दे दें।
ये अपनी मर्जी का लॉ बनाना चालू कर दें।
Actually, you cannot be Lord Macaulay at once just because you are not getting any idea as to what the question is asked, और आपको वो लॉ याद ना आ रहा हो या आपने पढ़ा ना हो तो। So that being said, in this entire session with Ayushi Upadhyay, we have discussed each and every element of what a judiciary aspirant has to cover, from preliminary examination to mains examination to judgment writing to translation to language paper to interview preparation, and the backbone of everything, that is your confidence, your determination, your hard work, and your never say never approach.
Yeah.
That is the bottom line that we have to keep in our mind while we want to become a judge. And I thank you, Ayushi, for giving us your valuable time so that you can inspire and you can let know people who are preparing for various judicial services examination how to prepare, the best possible tips, tricks, and a lot of motivation. So I thank you, Ayushi. I thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you. See, I will just say one thing, because I have all, whatever I've learned because I kept on asking. There was nobody to teach me. So now when I am in a position to tell even a thing, I do not shed away that responsibility. So not even after this, if anybody has any personal thing to ask, they can feel free to contact me. That would be there from my
That's that's so sweet, Ayushi, because not many people have this idea of helping others. एक बार अगर कई बार ऐसा होता है कि आपने बहुत मेहनत की, आपने वो मुकाम पा लिया जो आप पाना चाहते थे, उसके बाद आप दूसरों की हेल्प करना भूल जाते हैं. But this is a really great thing that Ayushi Upadhyay, Civil Judge Class 2 from Saga, she is there for any judiciary aspirant जो judiciary crack करना चाहते हैं. She is ready to help, and that is the best part of being not just a very good civil judge, but being a very good human being. I thank you, Ayushi, for your time.
thank you.
Okay. So, Ayushi, with this, we'll end our session for In Conversation with an MPCJ merit holder. I hope आप सारे ही जुडिशरी एस्पिरेंट्स को ये सेशन पसंद आएगा, ये पूरा सेशन आपको समझ में आएगा, एंड आपको बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन एंड नॉलेज मिली होगी रिगार्डिंग योर जुडिशरी प्रिपरेशन. आई थैंक आयुषी उपाध्याय once again, and tata, bye bye, good night, and Jai Hind.